The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, leaders in trolling technology. Trax Tech, the ultimate fishing system.
So we're here today in Ludington, Michigan. We're here for the Offshore Classic. Now the Offshore Classic is the biggest salmon tournament anywhere in Lake Michigan, and especially on the Lake Michigan side, this is one of the biggest events of the summer. We're gonna go out and spend a day with Blue Fairways, one of the tournament participants. We're gonna spend a day on the water, try to show you just what it's like to experience this great Ludington fishery and also to take part in the salmon tournament, which is open to anyone. So stay tuned. I think this is gonna be a great segment. You're gonna really learn something.
The Ludington tournament, started probably in 1982 or 1983, and at that time it was called the Ludington Gold Coast. Over the years it's changed quite a bit, but right now Ludington has always been, in my opinion, the best port to fish out of year-round on our side of the lake. The number of tournaments, the big fish tournaments, that were started out of Ludington. The concept of having big tournaments started out of Ludington. It's just an incredible tournament port, and you can see it in the tournament we have here. I mean, to have over 200 boats participating throughout the 4 days of tournaments here, and that doesn't include the new Big Boys tournament they're just starting this year that we're about to fish here on Tuesday and Wednesday. Ludington is so popular because it's got Big Point Sable. Big Point Sable drops off from 60 feet to 300 feet quicker than any place on Lake Michigan. It holds that bait fish, it holds those kings, and
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start of the tournament. Have fun.
When we went to the point, we set up, and we immediately recognized there were some good bait fish in. Because the point was on the way to Arcadia, it was easy to choose that as our starting spot, hit it shortly, see if it works. If it worked, we'd be ahead of the game. If it didn't, we knew we could likely try to take kings either while we were lake trout fishing or to roll outside a little bit. We were really hoping that bait fish, we knew the bait fish had been in there for I think 3, maybe 4 days. We were hoping the kings were finding that bait fish, and we were hoping to find some kings coming off of that bait fish in the morning as we were setting up. It didn't happen for us that way. We did take one small trout. That's not a fish we wanted to see. We were believing we could hit a much larger average sized trout down in Arcadia, and yeah, so that trout was not part of the game plan, wasn't helpful at all for us. You know, it's always about that morning set. You either set on top of them and you hit a couple fish, or you don't. And we knew there had been kings in Arcadia. You know, one of the discussions we were having is, do we go straight to Arcadia and try to take our kings there? We're going to fish for the kings differently than we would for the lake trout.
We might cause them a problem.
Not a good sign.
It's an upgrade though, boss.
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a nice upgrade. You want Look at that. How is that bad, boss? I know you wanted to be 15, but
Yeah, it's just not the kind of fish I usually catch.
I know we've seen the fish you usually catch this morning. We are fighting our first decent silver of the day. That's a king. Under, should be kings, isn't there? With regard to the lake trout, because of the smaller amount of bait fish, they are not preferring, but you'll find them feeding on goby much more than the king salmon will. But in addition to that, lake trout is generally a fish you'll find closer to bottom. It may also feed on the sculpin and other bait. And so when we're fishing lake trout, and especially on our boat, we'll focus on bottom structure and how to fish that bottom structure, whether that's in 250 feet of water or whether it's in 30 feet of water. Most of the guys will fish the bottom for trout if they're in less than 150 feet of water, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. So we had a plan and we executed our plan, but you can't control the size of fish.
Hey, John Bergsman here. Thanks for joining us today on the show. Thanks to Blue Fairways for letting us crash their party for a day, to Ludington Tourism for telling us about this great event and letting us show it to you. Whether you come to fish the Pere Marquette Lake, Hamlin Lake, the Pere Marquette River, or like we did today, Lake Michigan shoreline and the big water and silverfish fishing, Ludington has got great fishing year-round. Come and join us here in Ludington for a day on the water, or better yet, even a weekend.